We are part of take 3. Let's move on to the online repository. Here is online repo, and score here. Here is our online repository. We are, as part of yesterday's session, we were working with the download, install, configure of Linux machine onto one of the virtualization technology. So that we tried. So we tried with Oracle VirtualBox. It was not successful with the Mac. Then we tried with Fusion. Even it was not successful. Finally, we tried with VMware Fusion. And we were able to provision operating system. We configured total 3 things. One is Ubuntu. Ubuntu was not working because of its architecture. And we tried again. It was not working. Then we tried the CentOS. So we provisioned CentOS 7.0, which is 64-bit upon VMware Fusion. VMware Fusion is nothing but it's one of the virtualization technology. Upon my Mac, I installed this VMware Fusion, and upon that we configured CentOS and we installed it. Before I move further with the today's session with the day 4, do you have any questions for me?
Keshav, this Sudhir, like why we have not used a background or something, automatic machines, like automatic deployment of virtual machines?
Yeah, we can use it, but this is a simple process anybody can understand easily. As people are from different technology, they are from non-IT as well. So I just want to make it as a layman. So because of that reason, we are doing over here. Any other questions, anybody? Successfully, we completed 3 days, and now we are moving on to the day 4. As part of day 4, I'm about to create a file. Here we go. As part of day 4, we were supposed to discuss about Linux. We are looking onto Linux concepts here. As part of it, we have provisioned one Linux machine, which is available part of our local machine. Let's go over here. Now I'm starting CentOS 7.0, which is available part of virtualization technology. I would like to start this. Click on OK. Still it is loading now. The username what I have provided is root and the password is Red Hat at 123. Successfully I logged into the instance. Now I'm checking the IP address, which is 192.168.131.128. And this particular operating system I can connect from my host machine. Upon our host machine, if you remember, we have installed Git. Git is a software we have installed it. Using Git terminal, what we can do is we can do SSH to the remote Linux or remote Unix machines. We can connect remote Linux or Unix machines using Git. Let's go to the diagrammatical explanation over here. Using Git, we are doing SSH to the remote Linux machine, which is upon VMware Fusion. Anybody has any queries upon doing SSH to the remote Linux machine using Git bash? Please feel free to let me know. I would like to clarify. If you're clear, please do confirm.
Yes, yes, we are good. Like, but we can use any tool, right? Putty or Sigwin or whatever the
Yeah,
tool.
you can go with the reason why I'm stressing upon Git is uh, we were supposed to work with a version control system, whether you are a developer, whether you are a system admin, whether you are a network admin. Now you are tracking your changes, you are storing your changes onto distributed version control system. As you're working with one tool, so when you want to do SSH to some Linux and Unix machines, that time again why you want to bring up another tool. So where Git is providing SSH functionality in the same terminal, so why to go with other third-party tool called like Putty or the other vendors? So because of that reason, I'm stressing over here. Only
Okay.
that.
Keshav, I've used only Putty Keshav. Can we go over Git Bash also?
Yeah, we can. I'm just explaining that. Say, I just want to create one file here. I'm just trying to explain in diagrammatical way. Just it might take few minutes. Please cooperate with me. Yes, here we go. Now we don't have all of this. We will provision them, but now we don't have all of this. We have only one operating system, which is called CentOS 7. And the two Oracle, which it may be Oracle VirtualBox or VMware Fusion, could be any other vendor. To this machine, we are trying to connect with the help of Git. Git, we have installed it. So through this Git, we do SSH to this. We do SSH to it. Once we do SSH to it, we will download and install all of these softwares. We will download and install this set of softwares onto the operating system. Upon our operating system, we have Git Bash. Through Git Bash, we are connecting this one. So this is our Git Bash. From here, you are trying to connect. You're trying to do SSH to the remote Linux machine, which is running upon VMware Fusion. SSH space SSH means secure shell host, and the username is root at 192.168.131.128. Hit enter, provide the password. Here we go. We logged into the remote Linux machine. You can see the host name and we can see the IP address. You can minimize this. You can maximize this window and you start working upon this. So what all we do here? As part of a Linux machine, once we connect it, what we will do? We work upon file system. We work upon commands. We do a lot of stuff like download, install, configure, backup and recovery, and we work with the basic commands. We work with the advanced commands. So now I would like to start from basics. About even I would like to take some of the help from. Just a minute. I'm just looking for one option here. First, about system commands. System commands. Uname. I'm checking what is your name. And uname space -a, which will tell me about the operating system name, about the host name, what we configured. You can get this host name by typing hostname command. If you want to get the IP address, hostname space -I to get the IP address of your machine. Then we are working with this particular kernel. Major, minor, patch version of what? EL7. EL7 means Enterprise Linux. 7 is a version. x86 by 64 is the architecture. Date and time, time zone, year, architecture information. And we haven't paid anything to this particular CentOS 7 operating system because we downloaded this ISO file from internet because Linux is in unto open source. Even Linux distributions also unto open source. If you want to download a Windows, you have to pay and download because it's in commercial, wherein Linux is into open source. The moment I logged into the Linux machine, I executed a first command saying that uname command. And then I checked the entire information about the host name, architecture of my kernel, date and timestamp, and about licensing information with the help of uname space -a option. And I was just printing only host name with the help of hostname command. And I would like to print the IP address of the machine. I just use hostname space -I. And these commands are coming from where? All these commands are coming from bin directory. There is a bin directory. Inside the bin directory, there is a command called uname command. And there is a command called hostname command. As there is a command exists, that is the reason, or you can say as there is a binary exists, that is the reason I'm able to execute the commands. For example, I'm executing one of the command called tree command. It says command not found. When some software doesn't exist, then what we will do is we will download and install. If you're part of Windows, what we do, we go to the browser, we search for the software, we download, we right click and install next, and we'll do it. Wherein as part of your command line, now we are part of text edition, text version of your Linux machine, CLI, command line user interface. There is no browser here. So we work with the package management here. Package management. As part of this package management, we have two commands. RPM is one command and yum is another command. RPM only installs softwares where you have in the current location. For example, you downloaded software in your Windows. You go to downloads folder, right click and install with a mouse. That's similar action will be performed by RPM command. Wherein yum command will talk to the centralized FTP of the vendor where the softwares are available. From there, it will download and it will install along with the dependencies. Wherein RPM will not resolve the dependencies. You have some software in the current location that will install it. So RPM stands for Red Hat Package Manager. Yum stands for LODOG operator. For example, as you are new to the Linux, you want to know about the command name, description, one-line description, abbreviation of the command, or options of the command, synopsis of the command. If you want to know about them, it's very simple in Linux or in Unix. Simply execute man space name of the command. For example, RPM. What it is? Package manager. You have some synopsis, how to use this, how to consume this command. Querying and verifying, installing, upgrading and removing. You have these many options. Enter to see the complete documentation about each command, this particular command and its options. You have some description about it. Also, you can see who created this, under which version it is released, under which license it is released. All this information you can view it here. Q to come out. Now I'm checking man space yum command. YUM, yellow dog, updated, modified. Yum is an interactive RPM based package manager. It can automatically perform system updates, including dependencies analysis and absolute processing based on repository metadata. It checks local repository. It goes to online repository. Don't, when I say repository means it's not GitHub repository. It's about CentOS repository. Then it will download and install it. For example, if you are with other distributions like Ubuntu and Debian based Linux distributions, there you use a command called apt command. apt or apt-get command. If you are part of Amazon Linux, Oracle Linux, SUSE Linux, Red Hat, CentOS, Fedora, so all of these Linux distributions use yum command. So what we can do with the yum command, we can install softwares, we can update softwares, we can upgrade softwares, we can remove softwares, we can list softwares, we can check the information about softwares, we can search softwares. It's all you can do it with the help of yum command. Installing, updating, upgrading, checking, searching, listing, removing, uninstalling. All these operations you can do with the help of yum command. The difference between RPM and yum, RPM only works locally, yum works locally along with the remotely. Now I'm looking for a software called tree command. This command doesn't exist. And whatever the commands you execute on the Linux or Unix distributions, the commands will be coming from bin directory or sbin directory. There are two folders we have in Linux, and these two folders are nothing but directories are nothing but a bin directory is one, sbin directory. I'm a root user. When a root user executes the commands, his commands are coming from bin directory combination with the sbin directory. If you're a normal user, your complete commands coming from here, bin directory. So bin means binaries, normal user binaries. For root user, he will have access to binaries. He will have access to his own super binaries. Being a normal user cannot execute restart, cannot execute reboot, power off, cannot create some resources in another directory. So the commands which are coming from sbin are super user commands. Now I was looking for one command which is called tree command, which doesn't exist. Even in bin it doesn't exist. Even in sbin doesn't exist. When the software doesn't exist, we have to download and install it. We call it as package management. I am downloading and installing a software, yum space install space a software called tree software. If you look at here, one I would like to tell you, yum command is looking for this particular software onto centos.mirrors.esto.internet.in. It is going to this particular URL. It's like a FTP location. There it is looking for tree command. It's available there. And it is installing, downloading, installing. It is asking me, it has a total size of 46K. When it is installed, 87K it will be become. Do you want me to go ahead or not? S for agree, D for discard, no, N means no. If I say why, it will install it. Now the command is available under bin directory. This is a normal user command, so it will not be available part of bin directory because this command is normal user. So if you are a root user, if you are executing this command, anyway root user commands comes from bin directory and bin directory. If I execute tree command here, it will show you tree structure like this, tree structure, similar like ls command, but it will show us tree structure. It is scan all the directories. These are the list of directories we have, and these are the files we have. So this is the beauty of a tree command. You are looking for some command, doesn't exist, you download and install it, then you start consuming it. Also you know that from where this command is coming. The command is coming from binaries, user binaries. If you are looking for some command, for example wget command, see command doesn't exist, then what you do immediately, you download and install it. Like this, you work with the package management. Now if you see wget, it says wget is available. It's available, and it is coming from which location? The binary is stored onto bin directory. Previously it wasn't exist, now it is exist. If you want to know about this command, man space wget command, non-interactive network downloader. If you want to download some files, directories, or whatever softwares, we use wget command to download from the command line. Before I move further, I want to understand, is this clear to you, or do you see any challenges in understanding things? Are you clear what I'm explaining?
Yes.
I request everybody should confirm this. You
Yes,
can use
I'm
the
good.
chat window. Perfect. You can also confirm in the chat window, or you can unmute and say. Venugopal says not completely, but getting an idea. Vinitha was asking me a question. What about Ubuntu installation? Will you get back to that? Ubuntu or CentOS is a similar process. I was not able to do with the Ubuntu. You can also just do from your side. And in AWS, we will do Ubuntu and CentOS, Red Hat, Amazon Linux. We'll work with the different distributions. Okay. Yeah. We are clear for now. Let's move further. So we were executing some of the commands now. Whatever the command was, the flow, please, you have to understand the flow of the command. For example, I just executed pwd command. So the moment you execute any of the command, you should understand this command is coming from bin or sbin directory. Being a normal user, if you are executing a command, if it is coming from there, if you are a normal user, then if the command is working, yes, that means it's coming from bin directory. I tried to check the pwd command in sbin super binaries. It doesn't exist. You don't need to be in two locations. The command is no need to be in two locations because root user has access to bin directory and sbin directory. Bin normal binaries, sbin super binaries. Now we executed a command called pwd, present working directory. To know more about it, man space pwd. Read the description, read the syntax, understand it. Any of the command. If you want to explore more commands, regularly used commands in in Linux world or Unix world, simply you go to bin directory like this, list all the commands, list all of these commands. See how many commands we have. I'll just put in a notepad, or else I'll just do it like this. See these many commands you have. You can go above. You don't need to know all of these commands. Even I can give you some count as well. You can see the list of files, list of things which are available in the current working directory. You can also check with the help of commands. You can check size of the file, directory size, file size, number of lines in a file, number of characters in a file, number of words in a file. All you can check with the help of commands. I'll show you now. Still, I'm copying this because I just want to share with you. If you can remember at least 50 commands across Linux and Unix distributions, that's enough. Similar commands you'll be using as part of Windows as well. But name of the command might be different, but context of the command is the same. (672), 670, you can say 670 commands we have here. Do you really need them? No. They are there obviously. Just now we installed it. Tree command. Some commands we required. I'll guide you how to remember them. Clear the screen. First section I would like to talk about. First part, the moment we log into the operating system, we should look at system information. I'm just re-executing all of the commands what we have studied. You can have a look at it. Uptime, how long the system is running. Check the host name. Check the IP address. Check when the system is rebooted last reboot. You can check whether system is rebooted, when was the last time it got rebooted. You can see the date. You can also see the date CTL, time date CTL. This will give you a clear description: local time, UTC time, RTC time, time zone, NTP enabled, NTP synchronized, RTC in local time zone, and DST active, daylight saving. Next one, you can see the calendar. Then I want to see calendar of 1985. There's a 1985 calendar. I want to see the calendar of 2023. This is a calendar of 2023. Next, W. W stands for display currently logged in user in the system. Who am I? I'm asking myself the logged in username. Also, you can finger other user. Finger username. You have to say, let's say we have given CentOS. If somebody is logged in, you have to give his name. First thing is this command doesn't exist. So when the command doesn't exist, what we do? yum space, install space, the command name, finger. Now finger space, the username. See, last login on 10th, yesterday we did that. No mail, no plan about this user. So far we have looked into the system related commands. Now I would like to look at hardware related commands. And whatever the commands I executed, I can see with the help of history command. History command. 75 commands we executed so far. I'm looking at hardware related commands now. Dmessage, display boot up message. This is a boot message. Your operating system is started, so the boot message it is. So for this, what I have executed, dmessage. You can read the what it is. Print or control the kernel ring buffer. It will show you boot log. Next, I want to see you the CPU and make of the CPU and what is the CPU ID. With the help of cat command, cat means concatenation, reading a file. Proc is a folder. There we have CPU info, information about my CPU, processor, vendor ID, CPU family, model, made, Intel, and all of this information. Next is I want to see the memory information. About memory information. I want to see about hardware configuration. List hardware. LSHW doesn't exist. M space install space LSHW. If you are executing some command, if it doesn't work, you know how to download and install it. See? This is your complete information about your system hardware configuration. Next, I want to display device related information. Device, nothing but my computer hard disk is being partitioned 20 GB hard disk SDA. SDA1 is 1 GB associated with the boot, and SDA2 is 19 GB we have. CentOS root partition is occupied 17 GB. Swap memory is occupied 2 GB. Read-only memory SRO is temporary is created 973 MB. Displays block devices related information. I want to see memory in the system. Memory 1 GB RAM and swap memory is 2 GB. How much is consumed, how much is available. Next one is about PCI devices. I want to look at PCI devices. Command doesn't exist, no worries. We know how to work with the package management. LSPCI, it doesn't exist. This command doesn't exist as part of this URL. This is a FTP location. There we don't have this software, so you cannot do anything. And this software doesn't have, cannot do anything. And let's go with one more command, ls USB, list USB, ls USB also doesn't exist, so let me install it. USB. No, even this package doesn't exist. When this package doesn't exist, you have to install extra package enterprise Linux software. Then from there you can download these softwares when you don't get these softwares. That we will look into later. Next, I would like to see the hardware information about my BIOS with the help of Dmi Decode. Dmi Decode, which is nothing but displays hardware information from the BIOS. Next, about users. First part we learned about system, second part is about hardware, third part is about users. ID means who logged in, what is UID, it belongs to which group ID and is part of which groups, and what is a CLinux context. Last shows the last logins in the system. Whoever has logged into the system, their information will be displayed here. Who we already checked. This will display who is logged into the system. If you want to create a group, then create a group with the help of group add and name of the group. For example, Visualpath. I created a group, and the group information is available part of a group database. Group database files we have under etc folder. Group is one file and dshadow is another file. Group information will be available. We created a group. Even we have grep is a command. It's searching for this particular string in this particular file, also in this file. At a time, it's searching in two different files about this particular string. Grep is fall under regular expression. We created a group and the group name is this and is being created and is available part of group database files. We can create a user with the help of add user. Host name is Visual DevOps is the name of the, or else I'll say just DevOps. The moment we create, before I create this, I want to list user database files. This is one of the user database file, and there is one more user database file we have, which is called shadow. These two are user database files, and these two are group database files. We are about to create a user. Add user. Username is DevOps. The moment if I hit enter, user got created and his information will be available here. Grep DevOps under user database files. We created a group. Group is available part of group database files. We created a user. User is available part of user database files. Now this user doesn't have password. You can see he doesn't have password. We can configure password. Once we configure password, this value will be changed. And this is coming from shadow. To assign a password to the user, password space name of the user. REDHAT. You can check here. Just now we assigned a password, so you can see that previously there was no password. Here it is assigned as an encrypted password. And remaining are aging information about the user. CH age, change age -L. Name of the user is DevOps. Last password changed. Password expiry. Interactive password. Account expiry. Minimum, maximum password change age, and number of warnings. You can customize this by ch space the username. Minimum password age is 40 days. Maximum password age is 60 days. Last password change today. Password expiration warning. You should receive 10 warnings, and account expiry should be given 2022 12 31st of December. If you recheck again, things were modified now. Do you see? We customized the user aging information. So this information is stored onto user database files under shadow file. You see, it changed as per these parameters. Ch age, added a user, assigned a password, and user also can log into the system. Switch user, and host name is DevOps. Do you see now? Who am I? Last login. Just now we logged in. Who is logged in? DevOps. Exit from here. So like this, we can create a user, we can assign a password, and we can switch users. And I see a question from one of the learners is asking what is LRT. L stands for long, R stands for reverse, T stands for timestamp. Timestamp. When you execute ls, it will show you like this. When you execute -l, it will show you like this. When you execute r, reverse. When you execute t, timestamp, reverse timestamp, ascending descending order. It is kind of, as of now only one file we have, that's the reason you're not able to see. But if you have more than one file or directory in the current location, then it will show you ascending and descending order. Reverse timestamp. Latest will be down, and it is like this. I'll show you one. You see, 6th April is here. Latest, today is what, 11th. So this, if you don't give like this, T, timestamp, it is R. Do you see? It's not aligned. It's not ordered. Okay. You can also modify the user mod. You can do that. User mod, username. What you want to modify, user or user mod. You can modify his information. You can change his home directory. You can change his shell environment. You can have its description. You can change them. You can also delete a user with the help of user del. Space -r recursively name of the user called DevOps. After deleting a user, if you're trying to check in the user database files, it doesn't exist. Created a user, assigned a password, and logged into it and exited from there and deleted a user. And we see his information doesn't exist. Next, we will be looking into file commands.
Okay, sure. What is the difference between LSPC and Dmi Decode? Keshav, please explain that.
Can you repeat?
LSPCA command and Dmi Decode.
LSPCI, you're saying?
Yeah. You said the system information.
LSPC, LSPCI. This command doesn't exist. Anyway, I will explain about this. LSPCI displays PCI devices. PCI devices upon this operating system, upon this hardware, there will be PCI devices will be there. That will be displayed. And also you mentioned one more command which is called Dmi Decode, right?
Yeah, Keshav, yeah.
Yeah, Dmi Decode is about hardware information from the BIOS, basic input and output of operation system. Basic input output system information. From there, it will display your hardware information. Let me explain this. Execute this Dmi Decode. It is saying that your memory information is error, type, granularity, operation, vendor, memory. This is from the BIOS when your system is boots up. So that time it will collect the hardware information that is being displayed here. Now let's move further. Yeah. Well, as part of file commands, ls is command, ls space hyphen a means it will show you hidden content. ls means normal files, normal directories. It will show you normal content, normal files, normal directories. If you add hyphen a, which will display hidden content as well. In this output, you cannot see add L, long list. So this two are hidden directories, and all these are hidden files. And this is a normal file. If any file or directory starts with a dot, means hidden. Start with a dot means hidden. Whether it is a file or directory, how do you identify is in ls space hyphen l output, if a file or directory starts with a D, that means it's a directory. Hyphen means it's a file. And who owns it? Root user. He belongs to a group called root. And these are the permissions. We'll discuss about permissions. And here is the timestamp. Name of the file, whether it is a file or directory. And we have used L, long list, R, reverse. Do you see? December, March 10th, December, again March 10th. It is not in a aligned way. Reverse timestamp. T means timestamp. Old one is here, latest is here. ls space hyphen lrta. lrt. A means including hidden files and hidden directories, it will display. So what I suggest, whatever the command you go through it, first look at man space ls. Under this you have all this option, hyphen a, dot, don't ignore entries starting with dot. Dot means hidden. Dot means hidden. List directory contents. To go scroll down, we have used L, we have used R, we have used T. We have used, basically, use a long listing format. We have used R, reverse order while sorting. Then we used T, sort by modification time, newest first from the bottom. So like this, you get more information about each and every command. If you want to see the process related commands, file related commands, we are yet to discuss. We have a lot of commands. First, I would like to show you process. PS means process, which is like currently active running process. It will show. If you want to grep something, like you have top command here. Top is similar like task manager in Windows. Displays all the running processes using top command. In Linux, in Windows also we have top command. Here you can see CPU information, number of tasks, how long the system is running. It's been 46 minutes system is running, and how many users? 2 users. And your memories, your swap memory, number of running jobs, number of sleeping jobs, number of stop jobs, total jobs number count. From this, if you want to fetch something to come out from here, Q to come out, you need to press Q on your keyboard to come out from here, from the top output. And you want to grep something, you want to search some string, some process, then you have to say ps space -aux. A stands for all, U stands for users. Here we have users, right? Users. U means users. A means all. X means executions. Whatever you see here, all user executions will show us. We have different users here. Postfix is one user, dbus is another user, cronny is another user, pocket t is another user. So all user executions we can see. From this, you want to search some specific service, SSH service I want to fetch. SSHD service I'm fetching it with the help of pipe. So first I use this like this, entire output is printed here. If you use pipe command here, this entire output will be printed onto this pipe. After that, from there you are grepping something. You're grepping it. Grep space, I want to search SSH service. You see SSH service. Only SSH keyword related things were printed here. And that too you can ignore this but one. This one you can ignore it. What it is means your search output also will print here. So these are the results. Actual results are this. The third output you can ignore it. This output is nothing but this output. To print something also you need some job to run. So that's one. So top command is equal to task manager in Windows. Here we have top command. From top command you want to grep something, you want to print specific information. Then we use a regular expression called grep command to print the specific service. See, this service I printed over here. BG background, no such BG jobs. FG foreground, no such foreground. There are no foreground, there are no background jobs. And list of files that are opened by processes. If you want to check the list of files, then lsof, list of files. The command doesn't exist. The moment command doesn't exist, install it. After that, check man space lsof after installation. List open files. lsof. This is one of the interview questions. How to check list of open files in Linux or Unix distributions. lsof. Okay, we are ready to discuss a lot of other concepts as part of this operating system. For now, this is enough. I will share the things whatever we have discussed. I will commit them onto our code repository. You can look into it and start practicing from your side as well. In our Monday session, we will be converting our command line user interface server into graphical. The git commands, whatever I'm executing, you might get some confusion. No worries. Later, we have separate session for this. Once we are clear with the git command, the Linux part, we might start directly with the git. That time you will understand. Now you're looking at some output, and when I explain, then you'll understand clearly. Thank you all. I wish you a wonderful weekend. Please practice each and every step what we have studied so far. If you come across any questions, queries, you can always feel to ask me.
Yeah, Keshav, can you share me the CentOS iOS path URL?
I will do that right away. CentOS 7, you're looking for it, and ISO download. I'll give you a link where you can, let me show you. See, based on my location, it showed me this. Based on your current location, it will be different. CentOS.excelmedia.net 7.9. If I click upon this, I'll be navigated to this location, and you can see the size of the files. So if you go with the DVD is a 4.4 GB. Don't go with the DVD. Go with the minimal, which is 1.1 GB, just 1 GB. So I will share the complete path. The previous path I will share it. We can explore onto it. I place the link in the chat window. Thank you all. I wish you a happy weekend. Take care.
Okay, thank you.
Keshav, one question.
Yeah.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
Actually, we are using Ubuntu Server Edition, right? OS or virtual Oracle Virtual. So why we are not using other Ubuntu images? Why server only?
Okay. Server means it has a minimal OS files. When you buy a Windows operating system, Windows laptop from the shop, that Windows operating system will not have browsers, will not have MS Office, will not have other third-party softwares. You buy with a minimal requirement, then after that you install them. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Similar way, minimal means no graphical user interface softwares are available in it. Initially, we go with the see all the real-time servers are into server edition. Server means minimal. Minimal means only command line user interface, no graphical. Even CentOS, the one which we download and installed, is a minimal, which has no graphical user interface. If you want to convert graphical, yes, we can do that. Like Windows, we can do that. When you convert into graphical, you'll come across performance issues. Because when you install graphical softwares, it needs processing speed, it needs RAM, it needs storage. So that's the reason all the real-time Unix and Linux distributions are installed as minimal, which is called server edition. And if you compare with the Windows is also called as server edition, but it comes with a GUI with CUI. But wherein Linux and Unix distributions are only CUI, which is a minimal. In our Monday session, I will show you how to convert server edition to graphical edition.
Yes, got it.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you, Keshav.
Thank you all. I wish you a happy weekend. Please enjoy your weekend. Take care.
Thanks, Keshav. Same to you.
Thank you.